Hello again. Please can I now welcome to the stage His Excellency Khalid Humaidan, the Governor of the Central Bank of Bahrain. We're going to talk about finance redefined. Thank you very much for joining us. We've been talking about transformation a lot today, and in particular the pace of change that we're seeing. Digitalization, it's reshaping pretty much every part of the financial system, from trading, settlement, payment services, of course, digital assets themselves. Could you talk a bit about the CBB's role in all of this? How does digitalization fit into your priorities and your kind of roadmap for the future?
Very good morning, everybody. I'd like to start off by thanking the Economic Development Board, the Economist, the organizers and the sponsors of this event. And most of all, I'd like to thank the attendees. Without this turnout, this event wouldn't be the same. I think digital is the key to success for financial services. Any future we imagine for financial services, it's going to be a digital future. And in order for us to be relevant, we need to focus on digital, including the Central Bank of Bahrain. We have prioritized multiple aspects of the digital infrastructure that is needed for the future. And we have two very important projects. Number one is everything to do with payments, and number two is supervision technology. Payments. We are leading the world when it comes to instant payments. The first half of 2025, on average, there were 25 payments per person per month. This is obviously using the technology that is developed by the banks through their benefit company. And we think that's a very good place to start. And we want to continue to invest in our payment infrastructure. There's multiple other aspects of payments other than instant payments that can be developed. This is the interbank payment infrastructure and the focus on cross-border. Bahrain is leading and continue to lead when it comes to payments, and it makes sense. An open economy where financial services is a big component of our economy and a large contributor to our GDP, a country where we have a significant expat population. It makes sense for a country like Bahrain to lead the world when it comes to payments. In terms of supervision technology helps with the reporting between central bank and the licensees. Today, we live in a world where we ask our licensees to give us periodic reports. But we know that they store the information that we request in a digital format with them. And if we open a channel where we're able to access that information on an almost real-time basis, it starts to become a very different world. As a regulator, we're going to be able to become better in regulating. The system becomes more efficient, and definitely all of us will benefit from the enhanced safety from technology. This is going to be done in phases. Phase one will start this year, which is the raw data. Phase two would be our ability to use that raw data to make sure that ratios and rules are being adhered to. And phase three is where we really start embracing technology when it comes to trying to predict and forecast important trends, important risks, and important things that need to be taken into account that are not possible today because of the absence of large data.
Thank you very much. Now, that's given us kind of overview of how you're thinking about digitalization, and of course we're here to talk about all things fintech and digital, but But as Bahrain's central bank, these are just two of the areas, of many areas that you have under your jurisdiction. Could you talk a little bit about the CBB's other priorities at the moment as well?
Definitely. And the other priorities are also linked to digital. When we look at financial services, there's two key ingredients to success. Number one is talent. Number two is regulation. And those are the other two priorities that are the focus of the central bank. When it comes to talent, we fully know and acknowledge that the skill set is becoming more digital, and our ability to produce digital talent is going to be a key ingredient to our future success. In the past, many years ago, we used to interact with financial institutions face to face. Today, the interaction is very different. Today, the interaction is through screens, and behind the screen is a digital skill set that enables that to happen. What used to be a banker in the old days is probably a coder today with banking knowledge. And we have a very important institution that has helped us develop the traditional skills that led to where we are today. That's BIBF, very good at producing skilled professionals who understand credit, understand risk, understand compliance. The pivot has already started and must continue, where BIBF starts focusing on the necessary digital skill set that we need for the future. And we're already beginning to see the results and the fruits of all our work. Is many international companies are building talent hubs in Bahrain. And during this morning, we've heard of a few, and there's a lot more that we're hoping to be able to achieve. And it's a very good sign that we're on the right track. When international global companies realize that they can recruit talent and skills that are needed for their global businesses in Bahrain, it makes sense for us to continue down this path and double down to make sure that we continue to be able to do that. In terms of regulation, which is second, third priority that we have, is we need to stay close to the industry. They will help us identify what needs to change and how it needs to change. We've fully recognized that the world is changing. And with that, we need to find the right policies to be able to adapt to that world. Benchmarking is important. There's other very successful jurisdictions around the world, and us comparing ourselves constantly to them helps inspire us and guide us to make sure that we're finding the right balance in our regulation. And this transition is happening, and it's clear we will continue to transition from a rule-based system to a risk-based system to a principle-based system where proportionality is important.
That's a transition the UK has spent many years trying to perfect, and it's a tricky one. I guess the other kind of big question as you look at your regulatory approach is how to tie it to a landscape that is quite new, was very new, is evolving quite quickly. Bahrain, for example, has recently introduced new stablecoin regulations. I'm sure you have other initiatives that are in the pipeline at the moment. But the question behind this is one I posed earlier as well, which is how to strike the balance between ensuring financial stability on the one hand, which is one of your main purposes, and encouraging the innovation that drives growth. How do you strike that balance?
One of the things that is unique about the Central Bank of Bahrain, and I think it's an advantage, is we are a single regulator. We regulate banks, insurance companies, everything to do with investments, capital markets, and conduct. Very few central banks around the world enjoy that. It helps us to eliminate contradictions, because instead of multiple regulators, there's a single regulator. And it gives us a holistic view of all the different risks that might be present in the system. We're also unique in the sense that we have a dual mandate, and we're proud of it. And every day we strive to find the right balance between growth and stability. It's important, and we are convinced it is possible. Growth, we have our priorities. We're working towards our priorities, and we clearly see opportunities when it comes to insurance, when it comes to private banking, when it comes to talent development. And very relevant to today's discussion, we will continue to prioritize fintech. When it comes to stability, we focus on the first principles, and we think that's our North Star, that's our guiding principles. And that's where, when we look at the world and the risks that might arise, by understanding compliance risk, governance, consumer protection, and systemic risk, we're very comfortable saying yes to certain things and no to certain things. Compliance, in its most basic form, is we need to make sure that only good money and good individuals are able to transact in our jurisdiction. Governance is the process to make sure the decision-making is being done in a way that manages conflicts of interest. Consumer protection is important, and disclosure and awareness are very much related to consumer protection. Systemic risk is important, and we need to make sure that a failure of a single entity doesn't cause a domino effect with other entities in the financial system. And when we look at any licensee or any business activity from that view, and we focus on managing the most important risks, we can say yes to almost everything else.
That's a very good way of putting it. Could I finally ask you to talk a bit more broadly about why financial services and the financial sector is important to Bahrain? Obviously, in any economy, it's a crucial component. I'm speaking as a Brit. Our financial services industry is one of our leading sectors. But what role does finance play in Bahrain's economy, and how is it going to shape the kingdom's evolution?
Financial services is the largest sector in our economy. It's an important source of foreign direct investment, and it's an important source of jobs in the economy. Large financial services became the largest sector in our economy at the end of 2022. And today we're still enjoying the #1 spot. It's good. The contribution is 17% of GDP, and we still believe there's room to grow. Foreign direct investment, 2/3 of foreign direct investment in Bahrain is in the financial services sector. That's a very good sign. Not only do we recognize financial services as a strength for Bahrain, but so do international investors who invest in that field. And in terms of jobs, important source of jobs, and it's an important source of high-paying jobs. The average salary in financial services is double that in the average economy, in the rest of the economy. And we continue to focus on this. We believe there's potential to grow is there. The largest sector in Bahrain's economy can continue to grow. And we're seeing an increase in the number of licensees that are choosing to operate in this jurisdiction. Our pipeline is very healthy and growing. Every time we look at it, the number continues to grow. We are not keeping up with processing the license applications compared to the number of license applications that are being received. That number continues to increase. And the jobs have started to move up, and I think that's a good sign. And this is the best way to make sure that growth in financial services benefits the economy and benefits the people who are from here or living here, or other people who want to invest here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.